Hello, I just wanted to share a quick tip about making your templates for handmade books. Most of the time, it's pretty easy to just use grid paper, cut to the size of your template, and just measure out where your holes are and just punch the holes. Because the grid paper comes in two different sizes, a 1/4 inch, and then this one that's a little bit smaller. And usually it'll work out, to just measure out your grid paper and then have your holes be right at the corner of each of the grid squares. But sometimes the measurements don't quite work out and you end up, not being able to put it right at the corner. And then sometimes it can be a little irregular. So there's another tip, another method for making even spaced holes to make your column kind of grid lines. You can take any piece of paper and you just need a ruler that has centimeter markings. So in this case, for example, if I wanted to have 4 evenly spaced, columns for my holes, I would just add 1 to that number. So if I'm making 4 holes, then I'd use the number 5. And basically just put your ruler anywhere on your paper and have the 0 marking line up with one side of your paper, and then the 5 marking line up with the other side. And once you have that, usually I use pencil, but just pen so you can see it better, you're going to make a dot marking right at the 4, and then at the 3, and the 2, and the 1. And that will basically place these evenly spaced holes here. Then you can just shift your paper anywhere else, usually kind of more up at the top. You can also make 3 markings if you want to be more accurate. Again, put your the 0 marking of your ruler right at the left edge of your paper and the 5 marking at the right. And then just put a dot. Sorry, my dot is not a dot. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then you have these 2 markings, and you can then line up your ruler and then just make your line there, and then do that all the way across, and then those will be even columns, and then you can just measure out to make your dots. So sometimes that might be easier than trying to fiddle around with grid paper. Just another tip in case that's helpful.